Cities have enormous potential to improve well-being. They can be regenerative, living environments that enhance both human and more than human well-being. To fully realise that potential, we'll need to actively transition from our current polluting, commuting, car-centric cities to an urbanism that puts social and ecological vitality at the centre of urban policy and design. And that transition's already happening. So what does it mean for cities to be regenerative? How can they actively enhance the mauri or holistic well-being of te taiao me ngā tangata, of planet and people? We know that our cities and wider culture need to make change in 5 key urban systems. We need to move from ecological degeneration to ecological regeneration, from carbon-based energy to zero carbon energy. We need to move from linear take, make, waste economic systems to circular bio-based economies. And we need to shift from socially, ecologically and spatially disconnected communities to highly connected, resource-filled neighbourhoods. And at the finer grain of the city, our buildings and built environments need to shift from being ecologically unsustainable to being regenerative as they generate new resource and enhance social and ecological well-being. Our Ngā Tohu Ora Urban Wellbeing Compass visualises this complex urban system change as a well-being centred whole. At the ecological level, cities are already starting to integrate ecologically regenerative, nature-based systems such as sponge spaces, flood-resilient wetlands and rain gardens. And in terms of urban energy, we're starting to put in place zero carbon energy systems. At the level of the economy, businesses and infrastructures are starting to shift from linear to more circular economy practices that aim for zero waste or use biodegradable materials. At the urban level, change is happening as communities and neighbourhoods are being designed for walkability and social and ecological connection. Finally, at the smaller scale, our buildings are beginning to integrate all of these larger system changes into structures with living green roofs, locally generated energy and lower carbon materials. So let's look at how cities can bring well-being in more detail. Regenerating urban ecosystems has powerful effects on the well-being of whenua and whānau, land and people. If we make our cities more green and blue, with more trees and healthy water environments, we increase the carbon sink capacity of that city, enabling it to draw down more carbon, addressing fossil fuel-driven climate change. By increasing local biodiversity, we can improve the life support capacity, the productivity, resilience and health of the ecosystems we all rely on. With green and blue sponge city approaches using trees, wetlands and rain gardens, for example, we can increase urban resilience to floods. And with urban trees and green shading strategies, we can increase resilience to extreme heat events. We know that natural environments have huge positive effects on our own human well-being. Research shows that access to green and blue space can reduce depression and stress and improve brain acuity and attention. Our breathing slows in greener spaces, leading to a calming response as our parasympathetic or rest digest nervous system switches on. We can heal quicker when exposed to natural environments. Urban spaces, parks, community gardens, other green spaces can be important sites of social, cultural connection, which also brings well-being. How we generate energy can either harm or improve the well-being of both people and planet. Acting quickly now to transition to a zero carbon energy system for both buildings and transport will bring with it a range of wellbeing benefits as carbon emissions and other associated pollutants and particulates decrease. A transition to zero carbon energy enables a local and distributed approach where power can be generated on solar panels on the roofs of buildings, for example. Having building-based batteries builds energy resilience. Transitioning from a linear take-make-waste economy to a circular bioeconomy will bring huge well-being effects for people and planet. Zero-waste systems such as composting, recycling, repurposing encourage a circular resource-to-resource approach that reduces our impacts on ecological life support systems. How we design our urban form, relationships and infrastructures can have huge well-being effects, influencing how socially connected we are, how much energy we use, or how active we are. Research shows that creating walkable or bikeable neighbourhoods activates social, cultural and ecological connections that can strongly enhance our well-being. Staying local, with local access to work, education and services, reduces the need for commuting. Third spaces, like libraries, marae, cafes, parks, gardens, can enable community interactions, which are so good for our mental and physical health. Our buildings can integrate all these larger well-being-led system changes for enhanced social and ecological well-being. They can contribute to our well-being by generating local renewable energy, by using circular bioeconomy-based materials and practices, and designing for community connection. Buildings can be designed with non-toxic materials and designed for biophilia so that they're strongly connected to nature in the exterior, and they can encourage well-being from social connection. Well-being or Māori-centred cities can be designed and developed to build urban resilience and the social, economic and ecological vitality so needed at this time of change. Mauri oho, mauri tu, mauri ora ki a tātou, haumi e, hui e, tai ki e.